And we're back with another episode of Brew Your Mind, the podcast where we get to drink coffee and beer. You get to sit back and listen to us ramble about what is on our mind. I am Justin.
Whoa, man. The energy is insane. Oh, I'm Jesse. Hello, everyone. Welcome back. We were just talking right before we hit record, and everything was nice and chill.
Yep, that's the way we like it.
And then you just come in guns blazing, surprising me. Like, well, I don't even know what to expect.
It'd be like that sometime.
I hope the audience feels the same way. They don't know what to expect. Anyway.
Jesse.
Yeah, it's
I
been a
haven't
minute.
heard your voice in years. The people haven't heard our voices in years. Before we dive into the month-long break that it has been,
It's been awful.
tell me what you're drinking.
Oh, I actually got a different drink today. I don't have a microphone stand, so I got to do this. I'll show it to the camera, and a quick plug. If you want to watch this on YouTube, it'll be posted a week after we post this podcast, which I don't know what day. Anyway, it'll be up soon. Just check our Instagram bio for the YouTube. I think it's Brew Your Mind Pod.
Yeah.
Is that it? I always forget, man. I'm the worst at this. Anyway, I'm drinking. It's from Waterbird Premium Distilled Spirits. It's a vodka cucumber mint in a can, like a little, almost like a White Claw thing.
Oh, my.
They're from Charlottesville, Virginia. I have been there a long time ago. But, yeah, let's crack this open. I'm going to crack this open and try it. No, I want to know what you're drinking, brother.
Yeah.
Let's see. I'm going to crack this open.
Crack it open. I want to hear about it before I dive in. Ooh.
I set the microphone on the floor right next to the can. That's
Ooh, pop a top.
yeah, pop a top again. All right, let's see
Pop
what
a
this...
top again.
Well,
How's that, brother?
I had one of these actually yesterday.
Oh.
And, yeah, in here. And I tell you what, I love mint, I love cucumber, and I love vodka. But for some reason, this one, maybe it's just me, Katie really liked it a lot, but it doesn't taste, I don't know, it tastes like fake or something. Like you really want a real cucumber and real mint in it. But it it's carbonated. It's good. It's not bad, but I'd probably rate it a good 5 out of 10.
Ooh, very mediocre.
It's refreshing. It tastes like a good summertime drink, but I compare it to White Claw or something like that,
Okay.
I think, but it's not it tastes like, I don't know what's in it, but I think it's like 0 or 100 calories or something, like on the same. That's what you get for drinking these like diety drinks, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? They kind of taste that way. Anyway,
Yeah. You're gonna get
I want to know
Tony.
what you drinking, brother.
We're back if Jesse's out here rating alcoholic drinks. We back, people. We back. What I
you
have
should
today,
don't even drink.
I know. What I have today is Left Hand Brewing Company, and it is peanut butter milk stout. I tried one of these in England, and I was like, these are amazing. And then you could hardly find them in England because it's an American beer. Not
Yeah.
this brand, but went to the liquor store last week, and this is the same liquor store 3 months ago. I was like, do you guys happen to carry peanut butter milk stouts or anything? They're like, I don't know what you're talking about. No, we don't. But then I randomly look yesterday or last week, and there they were in the flesh. And it's beautiful because it's got like Reese's peanut butter cups like all over the front of it. The camera's seeing it. But yeah, 6.2% Left Hand Brewing Company.
That sounds really good.
Let's pop a top. Yeah. I'll give a delicious sip of this right here. Oh, it's just so good. It's so
man.
good. You know a beer is good, like the initial taste is exactly what you just described, peanut butter milk stout. But then the aftertaste, the taste that lingers in your mouth after you swallow that delicious gulp, it's still there, the peanut butter. So good. 9 out of 10. Would be a 10 out of 10 if I actually had some peanut butter cups to go with it. Oh, that'd be good.
You know what you should try is Screwball. It's a peanut butter whiskey.
Ooh.
It has a little sheep on the front of it. I'm not a big whiskey drinker, but
I ran you, Jesse.
I know, man. You got to try it. I tried it one time. I was out like camping for work this past summer, and this guy that was with us, he of course, tradition, you bring a ton of alcohol, I guess. But he brought that, and I was like, peanut butter whiskey. I don't know about that. But I recommend you try it. I recommend everyone try it.
For sure,
dude.
man. That sounds good.
I'm also drinking a White Claw out of a glass with ice because we have an ice maker in our apartment that we
you're
just moved
savage.
into. So
Yeah, dude, let's dive into it. Let's because there's a lot that I don't know, and there's definitely everything that everyone else doesn't know. But tell us everything, Jesse. You're down in Savannah. The last time we talked, you were closing up shop in Anchorage, and dude, the road trip. Tell us everything. Start from day one, man.
Well, first of all, I will say this has been an overwhelming case of pure hell for me because there's been so much going on. And I think if you've listened to this before, you've probably heard me talk about how easily I get overwhelmed. And Justin does the opposite. I feel like you handle everything amazingly, no stress. And I just freak out. So anyway, I'll start from the top. Yeah, we... just preparing to leave Anchorage was like a nightmare. It was everything. It started with just anxiety of getting into Canada across the border. All these stories I'd heard left and right. All these people, yeah, they're not letting Americans in right now because of COVID. Well, if you got military orders, you'll be fine. But make sure you have this. Make sure you have the. And I had to buy chains for my tires because it was that season when it was snow. All this stuff, and I was just freaking out, man. The whole way up until we get to the border, I was like, they're going to turn us away. They're going to turn us away, and I don't know what to do. Because, I can't ship my car. Already shipped Katie's, and whatever, man. I mean, that last week was nothing but cleaning the apartment, just getting paperwork done. Everything's been slow. I was complaining about that before. Anyway, so we hit the road, and, it's anxiety, man. It's supposed to snow the day we are driving out. So I'm freaking out. I'm like, oh, man, we're going to be up in Yukon, Canada, or even upper Alaska where there's nothing around. And in the summertime, things are open. And there's tourism and traffic, and, you don't feel alone. But when you're driving through there in October and past that, it's snow, and it gets dark, and there's no one on the road. So we do all that. We're driving through there. I'm freaking out, man. We get to the border. Easy as can be. I show her my orders, and then she asked us, where are you guys planning on leaving the country? And we told her Montana. She was like, okay, just make sure you leave by this day. And that was it. And it's just that thing over and over again. It's like you were talking about when you were learning how to drive in the UK. You're like, man, why am I freaking out about this? This is really, it's not as crazy as it is.
Yeah.
Or you know what I mean? Like in hindsight, you're always like, why do I freak out about every little thing? Like, why does it stack up? But it's just been a lot of everything. So we drove. I just get through summarize the road trip. It was awesome, but scary because, like I said, it snowed the day we were driving out. So I'm like, man, these roads are wild up there in upper Alaska, windy. There's no one on the road. I'm just like driving. I'm calm, but I'm super anxious.
Yeah.
We get through the border. It's still snowing. Anyway, we get to our first town, Whitehorse. It's dark. And I was like, well, tomorrow we'll be fine. We made it to the border. We just got to get out of the Yukon and keep going. So next day we start driving. And we get to about halfway. And it's super, super windy roads. And we get to this, I forget where we were, some lodge place. We stop and get gas and have dinner. And it starts snowing hard outside. And, I mean, imagine these mountain roads. There's no streetlights. There's nothing.
Wow.
And we start driving. We get away from the lodge, and it starts pouring snow. And I'm like, I mean, it's pure dark, man. And I'm just like starting to freak out because we still had like 4 or 5 hours to go to get to our place. And I was like, well, this sucks. And it was already dark. And I don't know. That was what it was. That was the theme of it. We would outrun the snow and then be like, the snow's not here. We'd go to sleep, wake up, exhausted, do it again, and then run. We had to change plans in Montana because the snow was going to be so bad that we actually changed the route to get further south that day just so we can get away from it. And it still
Glad you're a
snowed.
weather guy.
The next day, I know. That really paid off. I saw the pattern. I was like, it's going to be this kind of cold front's moving through, so it's going to be heavier snow up here where we were going to stay.
Yep.
And I was like, we need to head south. It's going to snow, but not as bad.
Back building.
And there was trucks off the road in Montana. I mean, it was a wreck, dude.
Wow.
And every day. We get to Colorado Springs, stay there, see some friends. Finally, we take a couple days off. It's 76 degrees one day. The next day, it is 12 degrees and snowing. The day we leave. And I was like, I can't believe this is happening.
It caught up to you.
And we're driving from Colorado to St. Louis, and we're going through Kansas, and it's the most freezing rainstorm I've ever seen. Like, my windshield is freezing over faster than my defrosters and windshield will keep it off. Yeah, it was nuts. I took some pictures and video and stuff, but I haven't edited or did anything out with it yet because it's been so busy. Mm-hmm. But it was wild, man. Once we got to St. Louis, the weather was gone. It was fine. And then we just went to Tennessee and spent time with my family. Weather was great. But, man, I don't know if I'd do that again.
Dude.
That's the second time I've done that road trip. But anyway, we're in Savannah.
Yeah.
And we love it here. Yeah, it's way better than I remember it being or I expected it to be.
So question for you real quick.
Yeah, it's great.
Katie, is she from Alaska? Or how long did she live there?
She's from the Philippines. She left when she was 15 and then moved around. And then she lived in Anchorage for 5 years. So a year longer than me.
Okay. Has she ever been to Georgia?
No.
Or the Southeast, I guess?
She lived in Mississippi.
Okay.
For a while. But
so the crazy hot isn't anything. It probably hasn't been too hot in Savannah, I guess.
No, it's been about 80-something here, which has been great for me. I love it. But, yeah, man, we finally got into an apartment. It's been a wreck, but we got in here, and it's empty. We got a dryer yesterday because I had a ding in it. I was talking to my buddy D Brown. Shout out to D Brown.
DB, what up, baby?
Yeah, he used to work at Lowe's, and I texted him. I was like, "Man, you think there's any good deals going on washers and dryers?" And he's like, "I'm gonna look." There's a hot tip for everyone listening. Hot tip: if you go to appliances or whatever, appliances section. He used to manage that. So he said, ask for a manager when you get there, and then ask them if they have any inventory that they want to get out of their way.
Oh.
And I did that exact thing. I said to the guy, I was like, do you have anything you need out of your way? And I was like, if your manager is around, tell him.
Sounds like a sketch drug deal. Hey, I'm here for the thing you're trying to get rid of. Hello?
Yeah. And that's what happened. And the guy kind of chuckled. He's like he knew the lingo. He knew that he
like
laughed in a
prior
way.
Worker.
Yeah, that like I knew the lingo. So he was like, all right, let me talk to my manager. And he showed me this dryer, and it's originally $950, and it's new. We looked at it, and it has a dent on the side from where it was shipped.
Yeah.
And they gave it to us for $350.
Wow.
So we just got the washer to match, and we got the washer for $699. Just all of it's expensive, but they were $950 each.
Dude,
so
nice. Here's the follow-up question. Did you use your Lowe's military discount?
Well, it didn't apply because this one was already discounted.
Got you. But you are signed up and you have your phone number linked.
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep.
That's something I didn't know after I made 2 big purchases from Lowe's, and then they were like, you can't use it in the store. You have to go to the website. And I'm like, you got to be kidding me.
Oh, really? They usually give it to me in the store. Well, for smaller things, I think, but...
Yeah. Anyway, you were saying you just pretty much stole a washer and dryer set from Lowe's.
Well, yeah, I hope so. And it's just been crazy, man. It's just been crazy. And then we've been with a realtor a ton. We've probably seen 10 houses.
But that's what's good though. Like you're not forcing it. You're taking your time and you find the right one.
Well, we already put an offer in on one house. We don't know where it's going to go yet. And funny enough, the guy was like, I like it, but the guy texted me this morning, texted me and Katie, and he said, so the seller told me there's multiple offers on this house. So what do you guys want to do? Do you want to go higher, stay, or back out? And I was like, I'm not going any higher. You can just tell them we're staying. Yep. And I was like, we'll see. I was like, there's probably no one even that's bid higher than us.
That's how you know what I'm saying?
And then he texts us back. He said, oh, I actually found out just now that you guys are the highest bidder. So I'm glad we didn't go higher for no reason. Man, I played poker before. You can't. Yeah. You can't poker me.
You got to know when to hold them.
But yeah, man, Savannah's great, and I love it here, and I can't wait to come visit you. We're almost in the same time zone, and we're way closer.
I'm sitting in my man cave right now, and I feel like you're right down the hallway in our spare bedroom recording right now. I feel like you're that close. Like I can hear you talk outside the microphone.
You got a spare bedroom? You mean I can come over there and stay?
For you. It's called Jesse's room.
Man, I tell you what. Yeah, man. I don't know. Life is good, but it's just been. I can't do this. I can't do it anymore. It's got to slow down soon.
Yeah, I
And
mean,
I got to go to work tomorrow too.
You've been killing it, dude, and like you've been popping on social media here and there, but you also took a break from it, correct?
Unintentionally, I have barely looked at.
But you loved that, didn't you? That unintentional break.
Oh yeah, that's true. I put that on Twitter. I was like, man, I just realized I've barely looked at my phone for the past I don't know, 12 days or however long we're traveling.
Yeah, yeah.
I was like, I kind of loved it. I felt so out of the loop, like especially with Twitter because it's so like up to date about everything. I was like, I forgot it was election day and stuff like that. I was like, man, I don't even know what's going on.
Wait, there was an election?
Yeah, election for the best podcast out there, and it's me and you.
And it sounds like we have 49 out of the 50 precincts reporting. That's 99% in of 98% yes. Brew Your Mind is the best podcast on all your podcast platforms. So welcome any new listeners. This is how it is. This is what we do. The returning listeners, we're back. Listen, it's been a while. I know you missed us. My goodness, we missed you. Between Jesse moving, but let me say, times were our schedules were tough. Okay, so there was times Jesse had to worry about moving, and then there was times where he was ready to record, and then I was unavailable.
Yeah,
and it was just a really tough time for us to sync our schedules up.
Yeah,
but here we are, dude.
We'll get it more consistent once I get all the house. I mean, we have an empty apartment. We're sleeping on an air mattress.
What I like though is you have an empty apartment, but there is no echo whatsoever. It sounds like
you can't hear the echo. It's awful in this room, but I'm glad you can't hear it.
I don't hear a thing. All I hear is your beautiful voice.
You hear that?
I heard that echo that you forced, but I hear your beautiful voice.
It's rough, dude. So speaking of election, wild times we live in.
Talking about this election, I don't know what
so
happened.
There was a small thing in this country. I did see a glimpse of it. There was they elected a new president, apparently.
So they say
in our country. I guess I don't
know.
So
they say. I guess the most unofficial official thing. I guess you could say.
Right now, it's like they're like Joe Biden is projected winner, but then everyone keeps saying congratulations. I'm like, I mean, obviously, it looks like he's won.
Yes,
but it's I don't think.
I think it's going to be a long time before anything's official.
I'm exhausted.
We just stay with that.
I'm exhausted.
Yeah, I'll say I have never been more focused and involved. Not focused, involved or pay attention to an election more than this one. I probably followed 15 Twitter accounts that I never follow.
Oh, really?
Just for those 2 days. And after that, I was just so exhausted from everything.
I don't know how people do it.
I was so plugged in, dude. I had so many conversations. My good friend Eric, me and him talked all week about it and shared a whole bunch of things. I mean, my barber, the whole normally it's like a 15-minute haircut. I was there for maybe an hour, and the whole time I was in his chair, and he was stopping and going on my hair, and we were talking about the damn election.
That's so
I'm
crazy.
Just exhausted, man. I'm so exhausted right now, and whenever even going to work, someone mentions anything, I'm just like, stop. We're not doing this. We're not talking about it. Exhausted.
We're talking about it now because I haven't really heard much about it. So, how bizarre that you are. I didn't think you'd be that interested in it for some reason.
I didn't think I was either.
You're usually not very vocal. So, how you feel about all this? Are you comfortable enough to talk about it? Kinda.
A crown is a representation of power, legitimacy, victory, and glory. If you know anything about any of those things, you know that they don't come overnight. It's a journey. Crown Supply is a lifestyle brand built with hopes to inspire others to embrace their journey. And today, Jesse, I'm embracing mine with the Embrace Your Journey white tea because it is a very special day for our listeners. That's right. All Brew Your Mind listeners get 15% off on all orders at the Crown Supply store. All you guys have to do is type in the promo code BREWPOD. That's right, 15% off. Go to crownsupply.store.com today, use the promo code, grab your crown, and embrace your journey. Back to the show. I like to leave my political views kind of. I keep them pretty personal.
Yeah, you do. So I don't even know where you're
maybe
at.
too personal for a podcast, but not too personal for you and I to sit down and have a
Yeah.
coffee or beer and talk about it. But I will say, I tweeted maybe two things about it altogether. My first tweet was 2 days ago, and I said, this tweet is to remind me to check the state of our military 1, 2, 3, and 4 years from now. Just a basic tweet, okay?
Yeah,
that is not saying what side I'm on or anything. That's just saying, hey, I want to see what our military is like from now. And then after that, I said, hey, regardless, I put on the uniform and go to work no matter who's in the White House. And that's how I try to keep it. I keep it professional, because that's what it's about, okay? And I will say, church yesterday, Sunday morning, my goodness, I'll start off by saying I'm a softie, and that proved it yesterday because they did a Veterans Day service, and I'm not going to tell the story because it's not going to be anywhere good. As it would be, but if anyone's interested in a very powerful, I'm trying to describe what kind of story it was. But bottom line is there was a major sitting down with our pastor, and they were talking about a story of his that it tied into the military and it tied into how God played into his life throughout his life. Really good story, and if you need 25 minutes just to sit down and hear something really powerful, just really just pull you in, let me know. I can give you a link because I'm not going to try to explain the story. But so we had that, and dude, I straight up cried, man. I was, and listen, towards the end, at the end, they were like, because it was Veterans Day, they're like, hey, if anyone, we got any active duty military or some veterans in the crowd, stand up. I was trying to sit down, right? And Tori was nudging me, get up, because my eyes were really watery, and a light was straight in my face, and I was like, no, this is not good. Anyway, so getting past that, there was a prayer at the end, and the pastor was like, listen, I don't care. First, it was really incredible. He said, during COVID times, I understand we're going through this, but if you could, grab the neighbor next to you. And I was like, wow, this is a really big step, and they're like, we got hand sanitizer. So we did that. Okay. That was kind of cool. And then he was like, hey, listen, let's put our views to the side. Let's put, whoever you're rooting for, whoever you hate right now, put it to the side and let's just pray. Let's put a prayer together for the next president. Whoever it's going to be. And let's just pray for unity within the country and just pray for everyone to come together and support those and not just hate this and hate where the country's going and all this kind. And it was just a really powerful prayer. And I was just like, man.
That's good.
You don't even gotta be. You don't have to be religious. You don't have to be spiritual. But the message that he was saying about becoming one, coming together.
Yeah.
After all of it, because we're just so separated, and the election showed it. It showed how separated this country is, and it showed how difficult people accept, or how difficult it takes. What am I trying to say? People just are struggling accepting any outcome. Any outcome.
We're too involved.
We're way too involved. Say Joe Biden ends up winning officially. You're going to have all the red states, the whole right side just raise hell. And they're not going to cooperate. They're going to do it because they have their own feelings. And they're like, he's not my president. The same thing happened when President Trump won the election. The hashtag, he's not my president, or everyone saw Obama and he wasn't the president anymore, and they were like, hashtag, he's my president. It's going to take forever for someone to accept any outcome. Imagine Joe Biden not winning this election after all this. Imagine for some crazy reason it comes down to the courts, and there's something going on in the courts, and all of a sudden President Trump is reelected. Can you just even imagine what this country will be like?
That'd be awful. There would be some... I don't even know what would happen. That'd be
I'm
interesting
talking
to
riot.
see.
We have not seen the type of riots that, and we've seen as a country. We've seen some riots, all right, just in 2020. Yeah. But if President Trump becomes reelected, it's gonna be a civil war, right? I mean, it's gonna be something in the history book, I'm sure.
Yeah,
And I'm putting in the podcast now so we can come back to it and be like, damn, Justin,
well,
spot on.
You talked about you was talking early about you called it that Chinese virus way back. Corona. You were
Isn't
way
that
ahead
crazy?
of that.
We go back to that teaser and it says, I start talking about the Chinese virus, and I did not
Actually put it in there.
Yeah, and it's in the teaser on Instagram, guys. You can go
So
back
funny.
to it. I forgot what episode it was.
It was like
But
January or February or something.
I literally didn't know the name of the virus.
I don't think it really had the name much then.
It really didn't. I guess it didn't. But I said Chinese virus, and what was it? A couple weeks later, the nation is on lockdown. The world. Crazy, dude.
That was so funny. I watched Dave Chappelle. He did a monologue on SNL the other night.
Mm-hmm. Yep, saw it.
Hilarious. And he's like Trump. He said something like he called that shit the Kung Flu, and he shook his head. He's like, "You racist, hilarious bastard." He's like, "I'm supposed to say shit like that, not you."
And let me say, Jim Carrey's Joe Biden was really good too.
Oh yeah, it was. Like spot on. But as far as if hypothetically, if he were to be reelected after all this, no way, man. I thought about that too. I was driving. I was like, man, I'm in the military. At least we're not. I feel like reservists get like National Guard and Reserve get activated to do things a lot more.
Yeah.
Than active duty, but as far as domestically, obviously. But I was like, man, if something were to pop off like crazy, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you think of the Civil War, and
yeah. Could you imagine? So I'm actually glad you mentioned that, because the Secretary of Defense got fired today. And the joke was he got fired via tweet because, President Trump tweeted out and he was like, Mark Esper. Is it Mark Esper? I think it's Mark Esper.
I don't even know.
Has been terminated. And I was like, that's a little harsh. But
wow.
I guess one of the views that they disagreed was, I think President Trump believes that active duty military should be involved in like riot control, like when the riots in regards to like George Floyd and whatnot.
Lord have mercy.
Yeah, so I think I was reading that President Trump agrees or wants, active duty to be involved in that, while Mark Esper did not at all. And he was kind of like standing in the way and making sure that happened. That's why we haven't been called to service like that. Mm-hmm. So imagine, like he's not there to say no, or, he doesn't have that much authority compared to like the President of the United States. But hey, everything's about to go down. We need you guys to suit up, and we're going to be like, all right, who are we fighting? Each other. What?
Yeah.
What?
You're going to have to patrol your city or whatever that you live near, and potentially. So there was a guy I was in when I went to Arizona for that class. There was a guy that was from, oh my God, I can't think. Minneapolis. Right? That's where George Floyd, right? Minneapolis. Mm-hmm. That's the city. He was actually activated. He's a reserve, he's guard, I think. And he had to go in the city with, and all of them were called in. And he's an Air Force weather guy. Called in, given a rifle and some gear, and told to go to certain blocks and, patrol or stand around. And he said one thing that really bothered him. I don't know who told him this. This isn't an official directive. But he said someone that was in charge was like telling them the rules of engagement.
Oh, wow.
Basically, whatever. Wow. And then what's even worse is he said there was a girl that he works with, she's guard as well. So she didn't even know how to use the rifle properly, which is okay. They don't, a lot of Air Force people don't train with rifles that often. And that's part of our job. It's not embarrassing. We're computer mostly. So anyway, she wasn't super familiar with the rifle again, And I did that too. I've definitely went shooting before and like, how do I cock this thing again? I forget, or whatever. Mm-hmm. Where's the magazine release? Stuff like that. I don't care. It's not embarrassing. I'm not a gun guy. But anyway, so
you got guns though, guy.
He's got you got guns though, guy. So he's got this girl next to her that is like, she might not even know where safety is on the gun.
Geez.
So it's like,
they're
putting people out there that are going to be like maybe a little trigger happy or nervous or scared. Like that's crazy, man. So I don't know. It's nuts. I mean, cops don't even apparently have enough training
Apparently.
as is. I don't know. But imagine putting more guard or reserve people who do jobs like us. Like, we don't shoot that often. Whatever. So, I don't know. It's a wild time, man. Wild time, man.
I guess before we end the election topic, so I think you tweeted something about maybe did you notice anything in your drive down? Like, did you notice like more signs for one candidate compared to the other? Like you said something like I think the country thinks one is like full like really ahead, but it might be different. Or?
It's the same thing. It was 2016 all over again. So the general flow, I remember the feeling was, well, Hillary's going to win this by a landslide, right? And then I remember that day, election day. I didn't vote then. I wasn't very invested. I took a nap. I woke up, and some of my friends that I had made this said, we're going to go to a bar and watch how this thing turns out. I was like, oh, okay. Woke up. I think I looked at my phone, and I saw where it was at. I think Trump was ahead, and I was like, what is going on? Because that's not the feeling on the internet that I've been seeing. So anyway, go there. Trump wins. Wow. What in the world? So anyway, I thought for sure after everything, I was like, it really feels like surely Trump, it won't be that close this time. I really thought like there's going to be so much, like a lot of people maybe just want change in general, which is fine.
Yeah.
But then I started driving down, and I'm talking like from Montana, Colorado, Kansas, every state, there was way, way more Trump signs and flags and whatever. And I was really surprised. I thought it would be closer. And then even in Savannah's got a lot of Biden, it's a city. Artistic. There's a huge college here for arts and stuff. So there's a lot of Biden stuff here. There's also a lot of Trump stuff. So I was thinking, I was like, man, this might be a lot closer again than I thought. Yeah. And so as we saw when the numbers were coming out, I was like, man, these are neck and neck in a lot of states. Georgia turned blue. I guess it was kind of tied, but it was mostly blue, I guess. But that's never happened. I think that's happened back in like the 60s or something.
It was 70s, I think.
70s or something, yeah. It's crazy.
Yeah, for this election to go down and during the year of COVID and all the mail-in ballots, it was just...
Yeah, it's a wreck.
This election was something, and there's so much to peel back and look into. And
yeah. There's definitely probably a lot more to look into. I'm not a conspiracy theorist, and I'm not saying things are inaccurate, but I feel like this is a quote-unquote clusterfuck of a year. So, there was a lot of... Who knows? So,
and I feel like it would do the election process justice. What's wrong with trust but verify? We've never had an election like this.
Yeah.
So how can we assume everything was done the right way? And there should be no opposed to let's not check it. No, let's try to make sure this is right. Yeah. And regardless if it is, we accept the results. We move on. We move on together.
I don't know, and you're way more plugged in this than I am. But is that? Some states obviously waited till Friday or Saturday to say. So a lot of those were waiting and probably verifying. Maybe is that how it worked or no? I don't know.
A lot of them received them just late because there were ballots that were like postmarked on the day of the election day.
Yeah. Okay.
But so there was a lot of waiting, and then
I didn't know they could accept those. I thought there was a cutoff.
They can if it was postmarked.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
And that was like the mail-in ballot process.
Okay.
And then you just had you had Nevada and Arizona slowly getting the ballots coming in and counting and whatnot, and then they just stop in the middle of the night, and that's what's really funny.
What happened?
And I talk about this because it's like, all right, so you got like 4 years to prepare for this, okay? An election's going to happen in 2020. Yes, you weren't preparing for COVID. Completely understand that. COVID happened in March. COVID didn't happen in September, okay? You got these election officials. Hey, thank you for your service, by the way, and thank you for counting the ballots. You did justice to your country. I appreciate that.
Yes.
But what's just so confusing to me is you have this one day, this one night to do your job. to count the ballots. And then it's like, and there's probably some regulation or something they had to stop or they had to do it. But just to stop in the middle of the night and just to pick up at some time the next morning, that'd be like me and you working mid-shift, right? We go in at like 6, we do our products or whatever, and then at about 10 o'clock, we look at each other and we're like, hey, man, let's call it tonight. Our job's done here. We're good. You're good? I'm good. Let's go. And then we just come back whenever we want and we start doing our job again at like 7, 8 o'clock in the morning. That's how I think about it. And it's just mind-boggling to me that it's the job. Like, this day was coming.
Yeah.
The government knew this day was coming. Everyone knew it was coming. So why prolong it? What's the reason? Give us the reason why you're prolonging it.
Maybe they had a cutoff date already. They said we have to have this done by this day, and maybe they were waiting for more mail. I don't know.
Maybe I know. Hey, I know overseas and military votes, they were late to Georgia, so they had to count those up too. And then counties. Each county has their own special thing. Each state has their. And I just it's just so exhausting, man. And I'm weird. Like, we're just here, man. I tell you what. Hey, you brewers, you brewers, brew your mind's not changing.
No.
If Joe Biden's president, it's not changing. President Trump's, it's not changing.
I don't care who's president, man. I'm always the same. I'm always optimistic. Whenever Trump was president, I was like, I hope the best. Honest to God, I hope whatever everyone's saying, who he is and his character and what stuff from the past.
Yep.
I don't care. I'm just like, whoever's president, I pray the best for them. I really do, because they're leading the country. So why do I want them to fail?
Exactly.
So
that's the thing. Like, and I hope most people think like this.
I hate politics.
But it's like, if you're a diehard Republican and Joe Biden gets in the office and you're like, damn it, I really hope he screws up so we could show how good Donald Trump is.
Yeah.
And why would you want that for your country? That's just you being selfish, man.
Yeah.
Like, and that's when you have to put your own personal values aside and you're just like, okay, listen, we want this country to be better. We always want it to be great. So let's come together and do what we can to make sure this happens. And it's just like, I wish it was that easy. Like, I'm just a 28-year-old dude in front of a microphone just rambling some stuff, Like, I don't have any great knowledge about this. But it's just, I feel like it needs to be that easy. And it's never going to be. And everyone's going to expect the worst and hope for the best. And that's going to be that.
It's just hard for people to let go of their team, I think. Like, it's such a tribal thing, I think. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because you got, I think one problem is like, people have families and families and families that voted a certain way. So you feel like it's ingrained in your family tradition or your roots or something that your family is Republican. So it comes with all this perception of if your team is losing, then there's some big forfeiture of integrity to your country, and it's really hard for people to see it. That's why I try not to. It's hard. I want to get involved with it more, but I see when people get involved, really involved, it takes over their perception, I think, and they start to see it as
ruins friendships too.
Yeah, it's just like me versus you, and
yep, it gets real personal, real quick.
Yeah, like
That's why I try not to mention much,
Yeah, I don't either.
My close circle knows how I feel, but outside of that, listen, if we don't got to talk about it, we're not going to talk about it because you and I, we're great. And I'm talking to whoever, any friend. We're great because we don't talk about politics because we share our own values and we have that stuff in common, and that's what's important.
Man, everything is stupid. I'll tell you what is stupid. I said on Twitter, I was like, I'm not voting. I got harassed for that, not for not voting. Ridiculous. I said, I don't want to get involved. It's too much. People harassing me. They're questioning me, and it's fine. They want to know why. I tell them. But then I see the other day, this girl, she's this excellent videographer who I follow on Twitter because, she's excellent. She says something just irritated me, man. She was like, more or less, she's like, is anyone keeping track of these YouTubers or influencers or content creators that aren't telling people to vote? Because I am. And I just thought that was the stupidest thing. Like it was the whole posting a black picture for Black Lives Matter. If you didn't post it, all of a sudden you're against it.
Yeah.
And it's like, bruh, some people don't live on their phones. You know, so you can't assume that they are like anti something, or you can't assume if people don't say vote, then they're voting for Trump and they don't want you. Or you know what I'm saying?
You brought up a great point, man, because that's how I felt like it got later in that day is if you didn't post a black picture.
Yeah,
A picture of, that black square.
Yeah.
Then people would assume the worst about you, like, oh damn, he views things like this. I can't associate with that.
But why do we do that, man?
And that's unfortunate, man. That's really unfortunate.
I'm so annoyed. There's too much going on. The older I get, the less I can maintain. I want to smash my phone sometimes because I can't even handle texting stuff. You think I can handle this election and all this stuff going on?
Yeah.
No, I cannot.
Do you know there's a new social media platform for those on the right side?
Oh, wait,
it's called Parler.
Yeah, I saw
Parler.
that. I saw someone post something about leaving Facebook.
All of them are going
Parler.
to it. All of them. They're like, let's get off of this big tech Twitter and let's go to Parler. And I'm like, okay, that's when you know we're in the age that we are, that we're trying to make a social media shift to prove a point. Man, listen, I was not ready to talk about all this. And here we are after a long time. Dude, a lot has happened, since we last talked. A lot.
Oh, let me talk about Savannah. Let me talk about the South a little bit. I want to let all the listeners know if you have any ideas.
I thought that's what you were saying.
What'd you say?
You were like, I'm going to tell the listeners, and you're like, if you have any. I thought you were talking to like,
no.
listeners.
If we do have any more, I don't know. If anyone has any like presumptions or prejudice about Southerners or whatever, please come on down. Because I'm telling you, Katie's not from the South, obviously. And I told her, I was like, you're going to love Savannah. You're going to love the South. Because she has all these, she has mentioned some of the negative assumptions with the South as being not progressive. And, we vote for Trump and we're a little bit racist. No, that's not true. If you think that, you haven't lived in the South, okay? You can make assumptions about anywhere, but you got to live there, So anyway, we get here, man, and I'm telling you, every place we've been to, everyone has been so friendly. And Katie's noticed, she's like, everyone is so nice. Everyone makes small talk.
How y'all doing? Nice though, right?
Alaskans are fine. Okay. They're okay, but they're not overly warm. They're not overly whatever. No, but we've been to a bunch of restaurants now. I'm tired of it, spending money. Anyway, but we've went to a few places. I swear we've made friends, every one of them. We went to one place, and we talked to this bartender guy, sweetest guy. We talked to him for probably 45 minutes. We just sat there, and then so nice. And then we went to this other little restaurant, cute as can be. Every street is cute in Savannah, by the way. You want to live on every street. And we went to this little place, and this guy, we were having some drinks sitting outside on the street, and this guy come out, and he said, how are you guys doing? You guys like your food? And I was like, oh, he must be the owner, I guess. He's like, can I buy you guys a round of beers? He's like, don't tell my wife. He's like, I just, I like to make people feel welcome or whatever. And I was like, are you kidding me? So he brought me out a White Claw, brought out Katie something. And we just sat there talking to him, and I was like, I don't ever want to leave here. This is the best. I'm so happy. I'm so not plugged into the election. I'm not plugged into anything negative. I'm just out here. I'm looking at the Spanish moss and the trees, and it's beautiful, and it feels good, and I can feel the sunshine. And it's like they have places that say, drinks to go. Drinks to go?
Yeah.
Do you want that drink to go? Excuse me?
It's that South, man. Tori and I had that moment as well. We went to Chick-fil-A outside of Destin. And, we went to Destin to have Cracker Barrel because we haven't had Cracker Barrel in like 4 to 5 years. So we went there.
We've already done that too.
And there's a wait time of 1 hour.
Yeah.
So we said, no, forget it.
Yeah.
We did get Chipotle, and we haven't had Chipotle in years.
Yeah.
So we got that because that's out towards Destin. But anyways, came back because we're going to save the Chipotle for dinner, and we're feeling extra thick that day. So we stopped by Chick-fil-A.
Yes.
And this Southern gentleman, as nice as could be, we roll up. And Chick-fil-A is great, but this guy was beyond Chick-fil-A. He had core values that you could just see that he was just genuine and just an awesome guy. We roll up and he's like, well, look at you two. You guys just recently married? And we're like, no, we've been married for almost 5 years. He's like, well, you guys just have this glow about you guys. You guys are still, don't lose that glow. I'm like,
oh, man.
bless your heart, sir.
I love it.
And, we order and he's like, you know what? I'm going to get you guys a free brownie. I'm going to make sure you guys get a brownie. In your I'm like, listen, sir, what is your name? And we became Facebook friends. I'm not kidding about Facebook friends, but that's what like I can relate to that, man. You go to certain spots and like you just get this southern charm and this southern hospitality. I'm not saying you northern folks are completely rude, but you can see a difference. I think you can.
It's just people are very intentional about it here.
Yeah.
Like overly.
And something else happened a couple weeks ago. We went to Whataburger. Again, listen, okay, we're not fat people. We just go to these places because we haven't had them in years. So we went to Whataburger for the first time, and it's a long line, much longer than what's normally at Whataburger. It's definitely like a Culver's line, if no one knows what I'm talking about.
Side note, there's Culver's here in Savannah.
Let's go, Dad.
I saw it.
There's Culver's right down the road from me, too.
Oh, Lord.
It's so great. Culver's are great, people. Make sure you go get the frozen custard. It's fantastic. And the butter burgers and cheese curds are delicious. But we went to Whataburger, and long line. We're waiting for a while, probably 15, 20 minutes. And I'm like, Tori, listen, because I've been to Whataburger, she hasn't. So I was like, listen, this is not Whataburger. Don't think about it like this. We order, and all of a sudden we get to the first window. And the guy looks at me. He was like, so we had an angry customer way up there. And that's what's holding up the line. The guy behind him felt bad, so he bought his meal, bought the meal, and he also bought the meal of the car behind him. And I was like, okay. And he was like, so that's been going on for about 5-6 cars now. The car in front of the person's been buying the car for behind him, whatever. So I'm like, oh, that's really sweet. And then he just looked, I guess he gave me the receipt to show me the proof that mine was paid for. And I was like, oh, cool thing. And I took the receipt and I just drove off to the second window. And I was like, and it's when I got my food, the second window, it kicked. And then Tori looked at me, she's like, why didn't you pay for the car behind you? And I felt so bad, dude, because it just wasn't clicking. I was like,
Wisconsin.
Oh, dude. Yeah, dude, northern folks suck. But yeah, I couldn't believe it. So yeah, and that was last week. And then, we felt bad. So I told her, I was like, hey, next time we go out, and, I'll get the car behind me. So we went to Zaxby's yesterday.
We did
and
too.
There was a car.
How fun.
Really?
Yeah.
Dude, Zaxby's is great.
And we had Chick-fil-A today.
Nice, dude. I sound so fat right now because I just talked. This is my fourth store talking. I had Zaxby's yesterday, and there was this old lady behind me. And I was like, "This is the perfect time. I'm gonna do it." And it's funny because I gave the card, and the dude, I was like, "Hey, I want to pay for the card behind me," and he was like, "Really? Why?" And I was like, whatever. So he scanned it, whatever, and he told me the price. I was totally expecting him to say yeah, she got 3 catering boxes of chicken fingers.
Oh, Lord.
I was totally expecting it, but yeah, she only got one meal, and that was cool. Tried to drive away, and I guess she was kind of following me because she tried to chase me down and honk her horn for saying thank you or whatever. I was trying to avoid it, peel off, anonymous. You'll never know who just got you.
Yeah.
But yeah, because it's I haven't done that in a long time.
I want to do that.
It's really fun, dude. And I think on Veterans Day, I think I'm gonna go to Starbucks and go to some other place and just hopefully I get someone that's serving or a veteran. It'd be super cool, dude. But yeah, it's really fun.
It's so fun to do stuff like that for people.
It's really fun, man, because I was in that position accidentally. I should have paid for the car behind me realistically, but for someone to pay for your meal and not even know you, and the person that paid for my meal at Whataburger, I never got a chance to say thank you because she drove off and we never met. It's just one of those things. It's just, I don't know. It's really fun to do. And listen, I couldn't recommend it more. If you guys can spare a price of a Happy Meal,
let's do that.
It's super fun. You made the person's day, and my camera stopped recording. I don't know when, but I'm still talking. Yeah, it's really fun. If you guys could do that, you make the person. I don't know.
Let's set a challenge out there, man. Let's set a challenge. I'm gonna do that. Look, let's put a y'all go out there, go some drive-through, go to Starbucks, go wherever you want, whatever you do. And if you remember, I'll probably forget, but just do it. Buy that person, or do a little small, do a little act of kindness, whatever it may be. But we could set that challenge out there. If you made it this far listening, please please follow through with this challenge. Buy someone's meal.
Yeah.
Do something like that, and then let us know you did it because it's fun.
Yep.
Because I want to do it too. It is fun. Not
It's so fun.
you don't have to
man.
prove it
It's
to
so
any of
fun.
us to let us know.
No.
Yeah, but man,
It's like this giddy feeling.
Yeah, to
I
make
get.
your day.
Like,
Yeah.
It's just like, man. I'm
I know,
smiling
man.
from ear to ear right now because it's so awesome, man.
it's almost better
so
to do
awesome.
that. Just a random act of kindness. You get more reward from it, fulfillment, fun than the person that's
Yeah.
receiving it.
Yep.
And I mean, it'll make their
Exactly.
day for sure. You're like, well, that's a nice surprise.
Yeah, like it's just something they don't expect. No one expects it.
No.
At all. It's like going through a drive-through, and then for it to happen, you're just like, man, blessings on blessings on blessings on blessings.
Let's do that. Let's do that.
All right, bet. Put your hands in. Count on 3. 1, 2, 3. Team. There we.
I'm crushing on some ice.
I can tell.
I'm drinking White Claw out of a glass with some ice. Because I got
savage,
ice here. Did I already say that at the beginning? I think I did.
Yeah. Listen, why I got you here, man?
Let's talk about it.
Let's talk about.
Let's talk about some deep stuff. Let's get real personal.
All right, let's get personal, dude. When are we hooking up, man?
Bro, you're telling me, dude. Hey, listen. Side note, I just watched Rocket Man last night, Elton John movie.
Rocket Man.
And I've been listening to Elton John all day. Good God. I forgot how good his... Oh, my God.
I watched Kingsman the other day, and it has Elton John in it. So that's my closest relation to Elton
He's
John
in that
right now.
movie?
He's in the second one, yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I ain't seen that.
He's
But,
great in it, by the way.
Man,
Ooh, Alex Trebek.
I love him. And
Man.
rest in peace.
It was
know.
battling forever, but like,
Yeah.
you just don't. This is the same thing we. Whoa, this is the same thing we talked about with Chadwick Boseman.
Yeah.
You just don't know the impact someone has until they're gone, and then it just social media helps with just like overflowing the amount of like, wait, he did this. Wait, he did that. Man, what an incredible guy. But yeah,
It's insane, man. Like him and what's his name from Wheel of Fortune, Pat Sajak. Mm-hmm. Those two have been doing it as long as I can remember. Like as long as I've
Yeah.
been alive. Like I remember being a kid. Like some of the first memories would be with my great grandmother. She'd be watching Jeopardy. Alex Trebek, always
Yep.
on. You're kidding me? That was 30 years ago or something.
yeah.
You know
And
he's
we had another one, right? We had James Bond.
oh
Man,
yeah.
what happened while we've been away?
What is happening? Sean Connery.
Sean Connery.
Alex Trebek. Oh man. What legends though, man? What legends?
Yeah, it's crazy because like that's when you know like that's when it like clicks to me like I'm really like my age is really growing because more and more familiar faces are passing away.
Mm-hmm. What was
And
the
it's like,
first?
damn it.
What was like the first celebrity that impacted you passing away? Was there any for you? When you're thinking about it, I'll tell you mine. The first one for me was Robin Williams, and I remember hearing about it. And it's when we were both at Scott in Illinois, and I was in the commissary, I was grocery shopping. I looked down at my phone, and I think I was on Twitter, and I just happened to see, the thing that said, or maybe it was a breaking news thing that popped up. I don't know. It said Rob Williams passed away, and I was like, no, because I mean, there were so many movies, and Aladdin, and all these countless movies that he did when I was a kid. He's just the best man.
So it felt like it was like real personal too, like right?
Yeah, it was really upsetting. Like obviously,
So-
celebrity deaths don't bother me. It's kind of like,
Yep.
that sucks, but his was, I don't know how to describe it, but sometimes it can impact
I can
you.
relate, and it's actually really recent because like before this death, and I think we even talked about it on this podcast. I was like, celebrity deaths just didn't really bother me, like I didn't have really any kind of connection like that for them to bother me. But it was Kobe Bryant.
Oh yeah,
I think that one.
yeah.
Because I mean,
forgot.
I remember, where I was and what I was doing and all this kind of stuff. It was like one of
Yeah.
those things where it's like, and then like when it happened, it was like, for some reason, it just hit me like I really lost like a family member or a friend. And it was like
Yeah.
a celebrity death has never impacted me like that before. And that was tough. Had to think about that for a second because it was just so recent, like before that, it just didn't really bother me as much. But I guess maybe as, time goes on, more celebrities that we grew up with,
Yeah.
we may have this feeling again. It sucks, man.
Yeah.
Death sucks. So, hey, guys,
Hey,
Let's cherish the times that we live in.
it's crazy. You don't
Let's
know
not-
how much of an impact some of these celebrities have on you,
Exactly.
especially when you're a kid. You know, you like grow up
Yeah.
watching them or doing this or that, and then all of a sudden you're an adult and you don't think about them anymore until they die, and you're like, oh my God, that just affected me. I don't know. So, what do you think about buying a house? Any advice for me? I hate it.
You're doing good, kid.
This process is
You're doing
pretty
good.
easy, but I tell you what, the other night I was having some anxiety laying there in bed about there's
Yeah.
too much going on financially. We just got a new apartment. You know, we're in a new place. I don't know anyone.
Yep.
I like it, but I feel, whatever, scared.
You feel like you don't fit in. You feel like
I feel like a loser.
the new kid. No, you're not a loser, Jesse.
But it spent a lot of money getting all this stuff, buying a washer and dryer, and then all of a sudden, you got to put in some escrow money for a house,
yeah.
and then all of a sudden you're like, dang, I don't know. It's just crazy. So this apartment
you
costs a lot more than it should because we're doing a 3-month lease because we're short term.
Yeah.
The rent goes up, unfortunately.
Yep.
So I hate everything right now. I hate money. And I'm gonna win the lottery. That's the ticket to life, golden ticket.
No, that's good. You can do that, or dude, just think about that light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah, I know.
Think about getting that house. Think about eventually selling that house, and think about all the money that you'll get back,
Yeah.
and then some.
Thank you.
Because this grind, man, and that hopefully that'll be able to power you through to this rough. Because believe me, I just went through it. And I just had to think, hey, the market's hot. It's gonna stay hot. It's gonna be so hot when I have to sell it.
Yeah, the rates are good right now, by the way, everyone.
Yeah, man.
The rates are insanely, interest rates are super low. Mm-hmm. And, see,
Hashtag VA loans for life.
this is why I got to talk to people, man, because I keep things, bundled up. I don't talk to no one.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, everything's fine on the outside. I'm freaking out.
It's not.
But then you're right. You got to think, just like we got to learn how to drive in the UK. We got to learn how to drive on the other side of the road. We don't have to freak out about it. It's not going to be as bad as we think. You know what I'm saying? Like you're going to look in the
Yep.
rear view
Hey,
mirror.
let me get that shout out to Eric. I know you're still listening all the way through here, Ben. My man's going to the UK next weekend, or next week in a week, I should say. So that'd be awesome.
For
That's a great
for
adventure.
good or not?
Yeah, PCS and him and his fam.
You're kidding.
He's done all the stuff they need to do. So yeah, he's leaving me in a week. It was great. We did like a good high five here, and now we're going our separate ways again. So
I thought he was already over there. Am I crazy?
no, not yet. He's still doing emotional damage to me over here and prolonging this goodbye. So
Oh man.
it be like that sometimes. Military hashtag.
Oh yeah,
military
yeah.
life.
Man, speaking of that, man, I'm almost done with this. I am craving to stay
Tell me
somewhere.
what?
This military life, man.
No, stop that.
Well, I tell you what it is. I just left Anchorage,
Yeah.
and I went to Colton's wedding. Colton got married.
Congrats, Colton.
The 17th, and we drove out the 18th, and we drove down. They got married in this little town called Hope. It's near Anchorage, but it's about 2 hours away. We went down there, saw their wedding, took some pictures and video and stuff, and hung out. But I couldn't stay because we had to come back up to Anchorage, and then we were leaving the next day. And I was like, well, we got to go. Well, I had to say bye to him and Kyle at the same time. Man, that was awful. Two good buddies, man. And it was so sad because it was on his wedding day, and all the vibes were good, and I could just see the heartbreak. You know what I mean? Like as I was walking away, and I was like, yeah, this never gets easier. All the time,
dude. It may not have been like on that wedding level, but dude, when I had to peace out from you,
yeah, in that
to go to
parking lot, I
UK,
remember.
Whew, yeah, dude, that was. I wanted to punch you in the gut so hard, so you just be on the ground and you couldn't look at me.
Yeah.
Be like, don't look at me. I'm going.
I'm gonna knock you out.
Don't give me eye contact. I don't want this right now.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man.
Sucks.
It's tough. It's tough.
I mean, most of
but
the time you
listen,
make friends that are like, pretty good friends and like you're friends out of circumstance and you hang out a lot, but it's not hard to say bye that much,
Nope. I will say a good friend, Brandon Moore, he's going to be visiting. He's going to be in the local area next week. I'm going to hang out with him. It's going to be nice to see a familiar face.
Word.
So excited for that.
You guys can play some ball together or something.
I'm probably going to dunk on him, to be honest, but we'll see what happens. But hey, we're near the 1 hour mark.
I could keep talking. I could keep going on and on. We got a lot of catching up to do. But
We do, but I gotta make sure this gets out in the morning.
That's true. Well, there ain't gonna be no teaser yet.
No.
I don't have anything editing good on. I have my little laptop, but it does not handle it very well.
Yeah. So hey, you guys don't see a teaser for a little bit. Don't worry about it. There will be a YouTube video though, right?
Yeah,
maybe
I could do the YouTube video, I think, because it's very simple.
Okay. So yeah, there'll be YouTube videos. You guys can make sure. I know we got a few listeners that only listen and watch the YouTube videos and don't really listen to the podcast. So that's awesome. You guys can see this awesome Crown Supply dark gray trucker hat, one of two. Thanks, Tev, my guy. Thanks for hooking me up with this.
He's a man.
I love it. It's sick. He's a legend. Also, thank you guys. I don't think I said this on the last pod, but because it's been a while. Thank you guys so much for buying all the Brew Your Mind patches and. There was so I was not expecting to sell as many. I mean, we still have a few left for those that didn't get theirs. And if you made it this far, I'll tell you what. If you hit me up, if you hit Jesse up, we'll give you one for $15. I'm just kidding. That's the same price that was going to be.
That's what I was thinking.
Tricked you guys. No, seriously. If you're interested, hit us up. We also have coasters. Haven't posted those yet, I don't think, but they're our logo. Nice paper coasters. Those will be super. Hey, $1 for a coaster, huh? You want it, you got it. And then, thank you guys so much for supporting. My goodness, who would have thought we had so many supporters? And then Jesse and I will be reuniting one point in time.
So,
I cannot wait for that. We're gonna vlog it, people, and it's gonna bring tears to your eyes. If you don't cry off of this connection that you see, Jesse and I have actually acted in a movie before.
We have
McTwister, and. Yes. It was pretty much Grammy level performance, Oscar level performance. Is Grammy for music?
Yes.
Okay, so it's Oscar. No, it's Grammy too because we're performers. So it was elite level acting. So if we don't bring out enough tears, naturally we will make it flow professionally. But yeah, man, what do you got for the people?
Yeah, I mean, expect this more often. Again,
hey, we're gonna be back.
Yeah, finally settle in.
Routine.
So we'll plan a road trip. I'll come on down to the place and
come on up.
I say we should do. I say we should do a podcast on a beach or something.
Absolutely. Hey, we're actually going to Augusta for Thanksgiving. You trying to meet halfway? All right. See you.
Are you really? Oh, okay. Dude, we just passed through Macon today. Yeah, we drove to Atlanta today and back to get Katie's car. That was fun.
Gross.
I'm tired. Let me think here. We're going up to. I think we're going to visit my parents on Thanksgiving, which we won't go through Augusta, but we could. But I don't know. I think so. Anyway,
we'll just cross paths and we'll meet each other on the side of a road. I don't care,
dude. We'll talk about it. Maybe we could do like a.
No, we talk about this on air, Jesse.
We could maybe.
I'm kidding.
No, we could.
We'll talk about it.
We could maybe.
We'll put our coloring books together.
We'll see what dates and then maybe we could pass through and meet in.
Just a quick hi, goodbye, kiss, goodbye.
Meet in a cotton field somewhere. Dude, we passed some cotton fields today, and
I would roll around with you in the cotton field.
And then Katie's never seen them before, so we pulled off, and we plucked one. We took one. Katie said,
"You guys are savages."
Katie said, "Are we allowed to take that?" And I was like, "Nah, not really. It's someone's field."
You're in the South. You can take it.
We took a little piece because she was like, "I don't even know what it feels like." I was like, "It literally feels like a cotton ball, but it has like those little barbs in it inside of it."
Mm-hmm.
I was like, "Yeah." So we got a little tiny twig of one. So
y'all wild.
Is that offensive? Is it? It's probably insensitive to African Americans to have that decorated. Is it or is it not? Because I've seen people decorate with it in the South, like a little bit. But we were talking about that. Is it stupid to think decorating would be like if someone walked in the house and they saw it? Would that be offensive or not? Or are we? Or am I?
Don't know.
Or am I? I'm genuinely curious because. I mean, because it's. I mean, they grow everywhere, but is it like a thing that's like a? It's not like a signal or something, is it? Like a. I don't know. It was
no.
But
it's 2020.
I don't know, man. Nothing's off limits anymore. I think everything is probably.
Everything's in question.
I think if I question it, it probably is offensive. But am I being too sensitive? No, am I being one of those super white wokeness?
No, we know where your values are.
Putting the carriage before the horse type of thing. Does that make sense? I don't know, man. I'm just scared. I don't want nobody to get hurt. We're in a new era, Biden. We're in the Biden era. What's going to happen? Are people going to calm down and be, is it going to be is there going to be more love? You know what's funny is how, I know we're done with the podcast, but it's funny how much people react to like Trump getting elected is the end of their world or whatever, or the start of it. And then vice versa. Like Biden getting elected is some sort of universal love and agreeance. But I was like, someone posted something like that, like the world sighed a collective sigh of relief or something. And I was like, I don't know if that's true, because like I saw a lot of votes for the other side. Yeah. So like, what world are we talking about? It's just weird, man. And also, you know what irks me is when people say like the electoral college would be like, why is this whole state red, but this around the city is blue? And then some people are like, because that's where all the people live, insinuating like that's like where the important people live, or like it's kind of a weird thing. But that's more divisive thinking. We should not. We won't advertise that type of thinking. I think that's a type of thinking that's used for propaganda to get people to vote one way or the other, right? Probably. I think that it's kind of like when they're, it's that, well, we're from the rural, we're a hardworking family out here, we're farmers and this and that, and you city people don't understand us, that type of thing. But we're not all that different,
Not so different.
So why am I even bringing that up? I don't want to reinforce that type of thinking is what I'm saying.
That's right.
It's just weird, man. I don't know what to think. But you know what? Listen, go out there and buy someone's food in the drive-thru behind you. In your Starbucks, buy their drink. Don't even let them know. Just do it. And then when they try and chase you, to say thank you, just get gone. Run a red light or something. Anyway, that's all I got. And I'm going to buy someone's food. And we're going to spread some love. And when's Veterans Day? You said that. Did it already pass? I'm the worst.
Wednesday.
I'm the worst at this military thing. I don't even know when Veterans Day is.
Thank you for your service, Jesse.
I ain't even going to go get no food. You know how people go, like, they go get that free food and stuff. I don't even go.
Yeah.
I don't even go. I don't want to fight no people.
Too busy, too.
It's too busy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Hey, thanks, everybody, for listening. Hey, welcome back. Hope all you guys come back to us. You didn't get too far that, we can still get you at arm's length and just yank you back.
You know what's happening right now, Justin? You know what's happening? I had 2 drinks, and they're kicking in right now, so that's why I'm talking a lot.
Oh, that's why you're vibing, dog.
That's why I'm vibing, dog.
You vibing?
Hey, real quick. What you got going on? You been playing any of them video games anymore?
No, but I got PS5 getting delivered on Thursday. Super excited for that. And then Valhalla, Cyberpunk in that order.
Cyberpunk.
Probably a little Cold War action.
What's Cold War?
Man, there's so much. Call of Duty's the next Black Ops. Cold War.
Is it? It's not part of the Warzone thing, or it is?
So they're actually tying it into Warzone starting in December. Cold War weapons coming to Warzone. You're going to have a map maybe to tie us over to a new map next year.
Cold War? There wasn't even a war.
It's all going to be tied together.
Huh? It's just going to be a nuclear standoff video game?
Yeah, it's going to be dope.
Yeah, sorry to hijack. I was just curious. I'm craving, man. I'm craving to play some video games.
Some sticks too.
Because I ain't got none of it. I've got my Nintendo Switch, but that's it.
We can play the Switch together. I got a Switch.
I just want to play that trucking game I was playing before. Snow Runner.
Were you playing the trucking simulator?
That Snow Runner game. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Did I talk about that before?
No.
Man, let me tell you about this game real quick.
Exhilarating.
It's exhilarating. All you do is you have these trucks that you haul cargo everywhere. Off-road, Alaska, Michigan, all these places, mud. You got to upgrade your truck. Oh, it's so addictive. It's so stupid. What a time waster. Video games are something else.
Dude, I did farming simulator last year where I just...
It's the same. It's kind of like that, yeah. It's addictive.
Crop corn and got a new tractor.
It's addictive.
Yeah. It's awesome. Hey, guys, we'll be back again. YouTube video next week. The week after, we'll record another episode because we're back every other week. You'll hear us for at least an hour. If Jesse drinks a little bit, it'll be over an hour, just so you guys know and be prepared for that.
Come on. Let's do it.
We love you guys. Don't forget to spread the love. Thank your neighbor. Love your neighbor. And don't forget to brew your mind. Bye, people.
Bye.